couldn't squeeze it. Up ahead, behind the defense, it's James! LeBron added another poster to his all-time collection. He played against Jabari Smith Sr., and he just sunk Jabari Smith Jr.
You make it seem like LeBron just out there.
No, he's not out there, but I'm
All
saying
NBA
at
selection.
the peak of your superpowers.
Did you, LeBron, they asked LeBron, said, LeBron, we need you to give us 27, we need you to give us 10, and we need you to give us 10. And we need you to do that every night. And in the meantime, we still need you to guard the best player.
Everybody wants to turn this into a conspiracy now. Every time LeBron James sprints past the defender, bodies a younger wing, or looks fresh deep into another season, the internet starts asking the same question in a different way. What are we really watching here? Because at 41 years old, in his 23rd season, he is still putting up around 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. And the Los Angeles Lakers just finished with a strong record to lock up a playoff spot. That is not normal aging in professional sports. That is why people start saying wild stuff. That is why the whispers get darker. That is why the phrase, "Is this human?" even exists. But here's where this conversation usually goes off the rails. The second someone says there must be something else going on, people jump straight past science and into accusation. They skip over recovery, biomechanics, nutrition, sleep, minute management, skill adaptation, and pure freak genetics, and they run right to the most dramatic conclusion possible, and that is lazy. There is a huge difference between saying LeBron's longevity is unbelievably impressive and claiming there is proof of something shady. There is no public evidence of wrongdoing here. What there is, however, is a fascinating combination of money, discipline, modern sports science, and one of the most obsessive basketball minds the league has ever seen.
There's only one, we have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going to, but there's only one golfer that follows the big three. The big three is EPO, growth hormone, testosterone. That's the Lance Armstrong diet. There's one golfer, but it's Tiger Woods. Like, yes, it does matter. People will say it all the time, it doesn't matter. John Daly won it. It's like, it matters. Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketball has understood what it did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth quarter just like you shot in the fourth.
More red blood cells, more oxygen in your red blood cells. Okay, I got you.
It's the king of performance enhancer.
Here's the part nobody is talking about. LeBron is no longer surviving on the same version of athleticism that made him terrifying at 24. That player is gone. What remains is something even more dangerous in a different way: efficiency. He knows exactly when to attack, when to conserve energy, when to bully smaller defenders, and when to let the game come to him. He is not trying to prove he is still 27 every possession. He is weaponizing experience. That is what old greats do when they refuse to fade. They trade volume for precision. They stop trying to win every minute and start controlling the minutes that matter most.
And we want to turn LeBron James into Muhammad Ali. And I've said this many, many times. LeBron James is a basketball player. He's not that smart. Listen to him talk. Go read his Twitter feed, his Instagram. He can barely spell.
And when you look at the timing of all this, it gets even more interesting. The Lakers did not just limp into the playoffs because LeBron squeezed out a few nostalgia performances. They earned their position with consistent winning basketball. And now they're heading into a first-round series against the young, hungry Houston Rockets squad. That matters because this is not empty stat accumulation on a lottery team. This is still happening in games that affect seeding, playoff structure, and the entire shape of the Western Conference bracket. Even in the regular season finale, LeBron played limited minutes, contributed efficiently, and sat down once the job was done. That is not a farewell tour. That is still a contender leaning on an old machine that somehow keeps turning over.
A ring is a team accomplishment. I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to me individually. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport. You tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys just because this guy won one ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning.
So what is the dark science really? It is not one magic pill or one secret vial. It is the uncomfortable truth that modern elite athletes at the very top live in a world most fans cannot even imagine. Their blood work is tracked, their sleep is monitored, their inflammation is managed, their body composition is measured obsessively, their recovery windows are designed like engineering projects. Every meal, every treatment, every workout, every movement pattern gets optimized. And when you combine that level of information with a player who is already genetically elite, already wealthy enough to access the best resources, and already obsessed enough to follow the plan, you get something that looks unnatural to normal people. But unnatural does not automatically mean illegal. Sometimes it just means modern performance science finally met a once-in-a-generation body and brain. Now this is where it gets dangerous, because fans confuse visible explosion with actual wear and tear. Just because LeBron can still dunk, still spin through contact, and still flip a game in 8 minutes does not mean his body is carrying the same burden the same way it used to. He has clearly changed how he plays. There are more possessions where he surveys instead of forcing the issue, more stretches where he picks apart weak defenders rather than attacking elite athletes head-on every trip, more moments where he's conserving the engine for the fourth quarter, the last 6 minutes, or the playoff stage. This is not just longevity, it is controlled damage, and that is one of the smartest adaptations any aging superstar has ever made.
Having seen LeBron go through 8 straight playoff runs and reach the finals is truly one of the great accomplishments of this generation. 8 straight finals. People never talk about 8 straight because he lost 5 of them.
At the same time, you cannot separate his body from his skill. One of the biggest mistakes people make with LeBron is acting like his longevity is only a physical story. It is not. It is a processing speed story too. He sees the game faster than almost everyone else. He knows coverages before they happen. He feels where help is coming from. He can manipulate defenders with pace, not just power. So when people ask, how is he still doing this? Part of the answer is that he no longer has to win the game only with his legs. He can beat you with memory. He can beat you with geometry. He can beat you with timing. And that is exactly why aging stars who rely purely on burst disappear faster than aging stars who can still solve the floor like a puzzle. This is where young players usually make a mistake. They think longevity is about highlights. It is not. Longevity is about boredom. It is about doing the same unglamorous recovery work over and over again when nobody is watching. It is about eating the same disciplined meals when your friends are out. It is about treating soft tissue maintenance like religion. It is about shutting down the ego that tells you to go 100% all the time. Younger stars still think the league belongs to the strongest or fastest guy. Veterans know it often belongs to the guy who can still get to April and May without being broken. And whether people love LeBron or not, he has become maybe the best case study in NBA history of how to make your body survive the calendar.
If LeBron wants to know where the ring scenario started, go look at the history of the NBA. All the great centers have won. Mike won, he won 4. Russell won 11. Wilt won 2. Kareem won 6. He won 5 with the Lakers and 1 with Magic. Elijah won a couple. Shaq won plenty. The only one who didn't win it with the centers is Ewing.
Now, to keep this from becoming a one-man documentary, let's zoom out to the rest of the league, because this is happening in a very specific NBA moment. The Lakers are walking into a Rockets series where Houston is younger, deeper, and more built for repeated effort over 48 minutes. That matters because the science story is about to run into the basketball reality story. Recovery science can keep you elite longer, but it cannot stop a young physical team from forcing you into repeated high-leverage actions every trip. That is where the myth gets tested. And that is why this next chapter is so fascinating, because if LeBron dominates this series, the legend only grows louder. Then the "how is this even possible" conversation gets even crazier. But if Houston's energy and defense force him into tough possessions all game, then we are reminded of the one thing no amount of science has ever erased completely: age eventually collects. Maybe not in a random regular season game, but over a full playoff series against fresh legs and elite schemes, the bill usually comes due. Here's the part nobody is talking about. LeBron's greatest flex at 41 may not be that he is still dominant. It may be that he has changed what dominance even looks like. We are used to connecting greatness with raw takeover frequency, but late career greatness often looks quieter. It looks like making sure your team wins enough games. It looks like choosing the exact moments to push. It looks like finishing the season healthy enough to matter when the playoffs begin. It looks like still being the center of every opponent's game plan even when you are no longer scoring 30 a night. That is what makes him scary. He does not have to be old LeBron. He just has to be more prepared than you. And this is where the legacy angle gets even bigger, because every extra season like this reshapes the all-time conversation. Legends like Michael Jordan built their greatness on peak dominance. Players like Kobe Bryant defined eras with mentality and skill. But LeBron is building something different, a career that looks like multiple Hall of Fame runs stitched together. The early years were about athletic dominance, the middle years were about championships and control, and now the late years are about defying time itself. He is not just adding stats, he is rewriting what a basketball lifespan even looks like. Even the surrounding Lakers story adds to it. Younger players, roster adjustments, and playoff pressure all exist, but the gravity of the situation still bends back toward LeBron. The team's success still gets framed around what he can do in big moments. Opponents still build their entire defensive strategy around slowing down a 41-year-old. That alone tells you everything. We are not talking about a ceremonial icon. We are talking about someone still feared enough to shape a playoff series. So no, there is no evidence for some secret formula behind all this, no matter how dramatic the internet wants to make it sound. But I will say this, what LeBron is doing should make people uncomfortable in a different way. It should make younger stars uncomfortable because it shows how far discipline can really go. It should make teams uncomfortable because it shows how valuable experience still is. And it should make fans uncomfortable because it forces us to rethink everything we thought we knew about aging in sports. And that brings us to the real question. If a 41-year-old can still be this impactful, this feared, and this central to winning, then what exactly are we supposed to do with the old rules about decline? Because maybe the answer is not that something suspicious is happening. Maybe the answer is scarier. Maybe the answer is that one of the smartest, most disciplined players ever figured out how to extend greatness far beyond what we thought was possible. And if that is true, then the league has not just been dealing with LeBron James, it has been dealing with the blueprint of what the future of elite athletes might actually look like.